So we're gonna go to one of the best diving places I've ever been to. The cat has decided to join us today. Okay, so where we start is right, the cat's butt is. We start in Cairns, Marlin Marina. We go over the cattail, who's getting increasingly grumpy. And then we head towards the Great Barrier Reef. So all of this over here is the Great Barrier Reef. So we have to pass through it without hitting it. So we go on a course that goes just past more reef here. So that's this reef over here. We go past it from Angry Cattail. And we essentially make a passage plan to go way past the Great Barrier Reef. So between Cat Butt and Moore Reef is about 20 nautical miles. And then past that point, we have to go another 90 nautical miles in this direction. So you go all the way up there to the Coral Sea. We go to a specific reef on the Coral Sea called Flora Reef, which is what I feel is like truly wild. So to give you perspective of how large a nautical mile is, 1 nautical mile is between there and there, okay? So if we have to go essentially 110 nautical miles that way, not many boats go out there. It is truly wild, and the stuff that we're going to see is out of this world. So we're off to the Coral Sea today, so we're going to go and say goodbye to dry land. And once the sun goes down, we won't be able to see land for the next 3 days, which is super cool! So we're going off. As the dawn breaks, we see that, yes, in fact, there is no dry land around us. We are in the truly wild part of the world. So we're going off, and we're going to get ready to jump on into our next adventure. Over the side of the boat, we just see amazing, just clear water. And as the day progressed, we could see fish and other animals. It was like a glass bottom boat, but it wasn't. We just looked off the side of the boat and there were fish there. And there was a point in the day when we saw a turtle coming up to the surface, and he was like, "Hello, I'm a turtle." But they're pretty shy out here because they're not used to seeing boats or people at all. And they look pretty big and pretty old, so they're probably pretty done with humans anyway. They've had their time in the Great Barrier Reef, and now they've come back to the Coral Sea just to have a bit of a retirement age. They don't want to deal with people, so they see us, they swim away. But they still need to breathe, so Turtle came up, he was like, oh no! And he ran away. So that was pretty funny. And so we're jumping back in the water to a different site now, and I absolutely adored this dive site. It felt like I wanted to grow a set of gills and just live here for the rest of my life. Honestly, this is some of the most beautiful diving I've ever done. You've got visibility of up to 60 meters on some sites, and maybe even higher on some days. And there's just so many fish and so many shark life. I saw so many sharks on this trip. It was so cool. So it was really cool to see all that stuff going on in the reef. And we noticed that there wasn't actually a lot of coral in the Coral Sea, ironically enough. The reason being is a lot of cyclones form out in the Coral Sea. So when the cyclones hit the Coral Sea, all the corals get battered and bashed, and all the fish have to hide in the rocks. So it takes a toll. Unlike the Great Barrier Reef, which is often more protected, we have a lot more damage and a lot less coral out here in the Coral Sea. But amazing wildlife and amazing fish life, shark life. The things I've seen out in the Coral Sea have been phenomenal in the past. I've seen whale sharks and manta rays and hammerheads, but not this trip, unfortunately. But we did see some cool things. Lots of white-tip reef sharks and grey reef sharks and that turtle. All the cool stuff out here and just superb life. That is what makes this diving some of the best in the world. It's just amazing visibility, amazing life. And you just feel like you're, again, part of the system, but even more so here, because you just feel like you want to grow a set of gills and you just walk through the gates of Atlantis. And that is where we belong. And that's where I feel like I belong.